Hello, welcome back to Lady Lovestead Reads. My name is Jessica, and this is my September 2025 new releases video. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. My name is Jessica. In this video, I'll be sharing with you new releases that are coming out in September 2025 that I have my eye on. It's not a TBR. These are just books that have piqued my interest. They're also books that I've kind of curated based on you and what my audience typically likes to read and is interested in. So I've pulled some books that I think that you all might also be interested in reading based on the fact that you are part of my community here. I'm not going to share them in any particular order. If any of these books interest you, make sure to check trigger warnings. I don't share triggers in my videos because I think that they can be spoilery. I'm going to sneeze. If you have any concerns about triggers, I recommend using the app Storygraph. I have my new releases on a spreadsheet here, so I'm going to be looking at my computer, and then I use Goodreads to help me with the description. So let's dive right in. I think Ollie has a hairball. A Matter of Pedigree by Leslie Meyer. This is an adult cozy mystery. Did you hear Oliver? Ollie, are you okay? Bubba? It says Carol Capobianco, that's an interesting name, has always counted her blessings. But it's even more fun now that she and her husband Frank are finally making serious money thanks to Frank's newly painted patented bye-bye toilet. With the kids finally on their own, Carol and Frank are empty nesters, which will give her uninterrupted time to add to her impressive shoe collection. But that dream is quickly flushed when the offer is refused by venture capitalist Jose Brown. Hearing the claim that the Capobiancos won't fit into their wealthy, snooty community, Frank is outraged enough to roar something about killing that old Yankee. 3 months later, Carol is shocked by the news that Hosea has been bludgeoned to death. This cozy interests me because of a number of reasons. Leslie Meyer is a pretty well-known cozy mystery author. They write the Lucy Stone mystery series, which I haven't read but have heard wonderful things about. This also piques my interest because it's a married couple, which means that we won't have to deal with any super annoying love triangles between the sleuth and the police officer, right? That happens so often in cozies. And then third, this person is a middle-aged woman, which I feel like is kind of unusual just in books in general. Like, we get a lot of folks who are in their teens and 20s, and we get a lot of like older sleuths in the cozy world, but not a whole lot of people in their middle-age years. So that one is definitely on my list. Among the Burning Flowers by Samantha Shannon. Looks like this is a prequel in that series. And so I have Priory of the Orange Tree and I have A Day of Fallen Night on my shelves, and haven't read either of them because she keeps coming out with prequels. And the way my brain works is I have to read series in time order of the story. So I don't want to start this series until she's done writing the prequels. So then I'll start with the first prequel. But yeah, this prequel is coming out and it is adult high fantasy. Bad Things Happened in This Room by Marie Still. This is an adult horror. In this haunting psychological horror, Willow's life has become a fever dream, her days lost in a twisted loop where time no longer flows as it should. Is she held captive by her husband or by the insidious darkness of her own mind? That sounds kind of like fever dream-ish, and I'm really interested in it. Heart the Lover by Lily King. This is an adult literary fiction. Lily King has written other popular literary fiction. Sounds like my cat's knocked over some dishes. Lily King has written other adult literary fiction. I've never read from her before, but this book sounds like not dark academia, but it's set in academia. Joys interest me because I work in higher education. So it says, you knew I'd write a book about you someday. Our narrator understands good love stories, but her greatest love story, the one she lived, never followed the simple rules. In the fall of her senior year of college, she meets two star students from her 17th century lit class, Sam and Yash. Best friends living off campus in the elegant house of a professor on sabbatical, the boys invite her into their intoxicating world of academic fervor, rapid fire banter, and raucous card games. They nickname her Jordan, and she quickly discovers the pleasures of friendship, love, and her own intellectual ambition. That sounds right up my alley. Hot Wax by M.L. Rio. This is an adult mystery thriller. Summer 1989, 10-year-old Suzanne is drawn like a magnet to her father's forbidden world of electric guitars and tricked out cars. When her mother remarries, she jumps at the chance to tag along on the concert tour that just might be Gil and the Kills' wild ride to glory. But fame has sharper fangs than anybody realized, and as the band blazes up the charts, internal power struggles set Gil and his group on a collision course destined for a bloody reckoning. Apparently Oliver wants to read this one as well. I think of everything on this list, this is the one that stands out the most to me as the one I want to get to. Ollie, you are just struggling today. You are. Poor boy. Mother Mary Comes to Me by Arundhati Roy. Hi, Bubba. This is an adult memoir by the author, and it is about her relationship with her mother. Now, Arundhati Roy is well known for her literary fiction, and this memoir's description says that the memoir explains her relationship with her mother, which has been the fuel for so much of her literary fiction. I've never read any of her lit fic, but having read the description of this memoir, I want to read this first because I think it will give me deeper insight into her fiction. So I'm excited for that. Can you all do me a favor and in the comments put the kissy face emoji so that you can all give Ollie some kisses and some love, because he's having a day. He's a very sensitive boy and sometimes he just gets very upset. I bet you his kibble bowl is empty and that's what the problem is. Pumpkins and Pixels by Sue Hollowell. This is a cozy mystery. This is book 1 in a new series. It looks really cute and it's available on Kindle Unlimited. So it is retired festival director Rusty Redmond thought she traded pumpkin chaos for peace and quiet. But when the giant pumpkin festival's brand new drone carving derby ends in a shocking murder, she's pulled right back into the spotlight. Such a cute cover. Soul Searching by Lila Sage. This is book 1 in the Sweetwater Peak series. Lila Sage wrote the Rebel Blue Ranch Cowboy Romance series, and I read the first one and thought it was entertaining enough. This is a paranormal romance, which I think is really interesting. It's an interesting move to go from cowboy romance to paranormal romance. I'm curious to see how she does that. The City and Its Uncertain Walls by Haruki Murakami, translated by Philip Gabriel. Haruki Murakami is a speculative sci-fi literary fiction writer. Sounds like this is going to fall into that genre. I've only read one by him. I read Hard-Boiled Wonderland and The End of the World, and I thought it was phenomenal. It blew my mind. I learned about just this whole new way of writing and really pushing the boundary of form and genre conventions. His books are difficult to read. You really do need a solid background in writing analysis and literary analysis, I think, to enjoy them and to really appreciate them. But this one sounds interesting. The plot caught my eye. I've been meaning to read more of his work. I just haven't gotten around to it. So it says, we begin with a nameless young couple, a boy and a girl, teenagers in love. One day she disappears and her absence haunts him for the rest of his life. Now, based on the way he writes, I think he could end up doing something really unique and interesting with a plot or a description of a plot that's been done a million times. You know what I mean? The Gingerbread Bakery by Lori Gilmore. This is book 5 in the Dream Harbor series. This is a cozy romance series that's pretty high spice. I read book 1 in August and I really enjoyed it. Obviously, I'm going to have to get caught up before I dive into book 5 here, but it's about a town called Dream Harbor, and it looks like each book focuses on a different business within the town, and they're all like, you know, cute small town businesses. So like the first was a coffee shop, this one is a gingerbread bakery, there's one that's about a bookstore, and just like sweet little romances, and it often gets compared to the TV show Gilmore Girls. The October Film Hunt by Michael Wehunt. This is an adult horror. 10 years ago, Jory Stroud was the rising star of the October Film Hunt, a trio of horror enthusiasts who camped out at the filming locations of their favorite scary movies, sharing their love through their popular blog. But after a night in the graveyard from Proof of Demons, perhaps the most chilling cult film ever made, directed by the enigmatic Helene Enriquez, everything unraveled. This is reminding me of one of my favorite books of all time, which is Night Film by Marisha Pessl. So this is definitely on my list of ones that I definitely want to get to at some point. Oi, hello lovely people. The second part of my video was corrupted, so I have to refilm it. We've got 3 more books to go here. The Wasp Trap by Mark Edwards. This is an adult mystery thriller. It says a dinner party in a beautiful Notting Hill townhouse turns into a sinister game as 6 old friends are forced to spill their darkest secrets or else. 6 friends reunite in London to celebrate the life of their recently deceased ex-employer, a professor that brought them together in 1999 to help build a dating website based on psychological testing. Already sounds interesting. But what is meant to be a night of bittersweet nostalgia soon becomes a twisted and deadly game when the old friends find themselves at gunpoint. Whew. To the Moon and Back by Eliana Ramaj. This was actually a Book of the Month book. I didn't get Book of the Month this month because I'm on a book buying ban this year. But this one is about an aspiring astronaut. It says one young woman's relentless quest to become the first Cherokee astronaut will irrevocably alter the fates of the people she loves most in this tour de force of a debut about ambition, belonging, and family. Last is one that I am highly anticipating. It is We Love You Bunny by Mona Awad. This is number 2 in the Bunny series. Bunny by Mona Awad is one of my favorite books of all time. It is about Samantha Heather Mackey, who finds herself in a group of, it says, I'll just read it to you. It says, in the cult classic novel Bunny, Samantha Heather Mackey, a lonely outsider student at a highly selective MFA program, was first ostracized and then seduced by a clique of creepy, sweet, rich girls who call themselves Bunny. It is such a surreal horror read. I'm really curious to see if this second book will change my perspective on the first one at all, because in the first book it has a fairly open ending and there are a lot of different ways you could interpret what actually happens in that ending, and I wonder if this second book is going to concretize any of that and how it will change the reading experience of the first book. Highly anticipated, this one. That is the list. So of the books on this list, I am most looking forward to We Love You Bunny, but also Hot Wax. That one sounded really good to me. What are you looking forward to in the month of September in terms of new releases? What should I add to my list of things that are coming out that I didn't mention here? If you just want to leave me an emoji to let me know that you're here for the book I'm looking forward to most, which is We Love You Bunny, go ahead and leave me a heart and or a bunny. And until next time, make sure that you continue to read good books, drink good coffee, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye!